Hey you, I'm so humbled and I'm so grateful and happy that you're here. It shows that you are brave, that you're determined to find a way out of the fear and into enjoying your life and being yourself again. I'm Ralu. I'm a mental health coach and I specialize in health anxiety. And I chose to specialize in health anxiety because I struggled with it for 7 years after my father passed away of cancer 8 years ago. So I've been where you are. I've been through the fear. I've been through the worry. I've been through the what ifs. I was there trying to control everything and everyone around me just so that I feel safe and that I feel that I am in control and that whatever event happened to me will never happen again. I have been there. And I too, just like you, I thought that life happens and that thoughts just happen. And because my dad struggled with it and because my grandma struggles with it to this day, and that because my doctor told me that you struggle with health anxiety, that, hey, it's my destiny. And I'm meant to live forever with anxiety. I thought that really I had no control over my anxiety, but that was just a thought error that I had. It was just a thought. Right? And again, like you, I relied on my journey to healing. I relied a lot on external things, such as getting reassurance as much as I could from anyone really around me. I relied on essential oils, on medication, on reading self-help books, on listening to podcasts, which those are really great to feed the mind with things that can help us and that can bring us on the other side of fear. Of course, they help us not feel so overwhelmed. But the thing is, I've never on my journey, and you probably, if you're here, if you're still struggling with health anxiety, never dealt with this. I've never dealt with my thoughts. Does that make sense? So the thoughts are really at the root cause of the problem because you're trying to build a brand new future for yourself based on past emotions and on past thoughts. And that's why you feel stuck, because it doesn't work. You cannot change, you cannot advance through life if you keep the same thoughts that you used to have. Okay, the debilitating, the consuming thoughts. Okay, and probably, you've had a time when you felt much better and you said, oh, this is great, but then anxiety came back to you and it hit you even harder than before. And that's because, again, you have not changed your thought process. You're still thinking the same way. Because when you did those grounding exercises and you feel good, well, probably you've told yourself, oh, I'm too afraid to deal with the thoughts right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to close them in a cell. But what you didn't realize at that moment was that you just condemned your life and your mind to a mental prison that really consumed your life over the years. And thank God on my journey that I learned that the what ifs are just thoughts and that they can hurt us because they're just thoughts. So notice how I said earlier, I thought that anxiety was out of my control. I thought it was just a thought. So if it's just a thought, does that mean that I can change it? Yes, it does. So once I realized that, I said, it's in my power, right, to change it because it's just a thought, so it is in my power to change it. So what I did is I started to train my mind to think differently. And you probably tell me, Raluca, but yeah, it is so hard. Of course it is hard. If you've never trained your mind to think differently, if you've always trained your mind to go into the negative, then it's all that it knows. It doesn't know how to think any other way. It's like going to the gym. If you haven't been in the gym for 10 years, you can't expect to do 30 push-ups the first day you go. It's the same thing with the mind. We need to train it. We need to train our thoughts and what we tell ourselves, what we think, what we focus on. Right? So I realized that, again, I had the power to change my life because thoughts are just sentences that are created in my mind, and they're neutral when they come to us. But we are the ones who give it meaning. right? And the meaning can be either good or negative. And the meaning becomes the emotions that we feel, right? So let me explain that again. When a thought comes in, the mind goes, oh, should I label it? What's the meaning do I give that I give to this? Do I give it a good meaning or do I give it a negative meaning? And depends on what you've trained your mind. If it's going to go into the negative, it's probably going to feel fear, suffering, and all the other lower emotions. But if we train it to think, oh, it's actually good, I could make something good out of the bad, that makes sense, then it's just going to go into feeling cheerfulness, joyfulness, peacefulness, and all those other elevated emotions. So if thoughts are just sentences, we can truly change them, right? Yeah. So I've trained my mind to think what I wanted to think, and I've trained my body to feel what I wanted to feel. And I took back the driver's seat of my life because really fear just drove my life for 7 years. I was just in the passenger seat watching how it's driving my life. And this is exactly what I'll teach you as well. I'll teach you how to change your thought process and how to create long-lasting change in your life, so that no matter what life throws at you, no matter what kind of negative thoughts you might have, you can conquer them and you can live a joyful and amazing life, a life where you actually are living and enjoying, not just surviving. Right? So thoughts, again, are just sentences. They have been created by you. They create your symptoms. They create your fears. They create your worry. So if thoughts have been created by you in the first place, then you have the power to change them as well.